Good. It's Mr. B here. Hope everything is going good. Today is Tuesday, April 7th. So this is our day 6 or unit 7, day 6 reading lesson video. Hopefully you guys are staying up on task and staying with me for IXLs. Today, items you're going to need, like always, pencil, a highlighter, and you're developing a nation close reading article. Should have had that sent with you, as well as your Unit 7 reading packet. Okay? Unit 7 reading packet. Okay, we're going to be on page 6 today of our Unit 7 reading packet. It's going to look something like this. Okay? So, lesson 3 and 5. Okay? We'll kind of go over that a little bit more. And then you're going to be using pages 22 through 29 in your close reading article, okay? But more specific here coming up in a little bit. When we're finished with the lesson, complete reading IXLs A1 and A2, odds are I've had those starred since the beginning of the year. So if you don't have up to 80, you need to do those. Otherwise, if you're at 80, don't worry about it. If you're not done with the other IXLs that you haven't gotten done yet, work on those, okay? Because I've started these, so I'm guessing most of us have probably worked on these IXLs before today. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today we are gonna work on finding. Once again, finding key details, finding main idea, okay, based off those key details, okay. So we're going to start off on page 22 here, okay. So I'm just going to do a little bit together here, okay. So this is page 22. I'm on paragraph 1, okay. So before we start though, go ahead and just skim the text, okay. Go ahead and pause right now. Go ahead and skim the text, see what you notice, make a mental note to yourself, see what you notice, okay. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do paragraphs 1 and 2 together here, okay? So I'm going to get my highlighter here, okay? So I'm going to highlight key details that are important to our main idea, okay? So remember, key details are not key events. They could be key events, but they're key events and they're key details in the whole grand scheme of things, okay? So, all right. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. The Louisiana purchase doubled the size of the United States, opening up the West for settlers. First, the region had to be mapped. So, in 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition was tasked with the job of surveying the region and charting its rivers. Okay, so being that the title is the Oregon Trail and not about Lewis and Clark, I'm going to say that I'm going to highlight this first sentence here. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory from France. Okay. You can, if you only have a pencil, you can just underline it with a pencil. That's perfectly fine. Okay. Okay. So, So that was kind of the only key detail in this paragraph. Okay, so President Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory. Okay, being that our entire thing is about the Oregon Trail. Okay, and then let's go ahead and read paragraph 2 here. Okay, the mission was a success, but their land route would prove too difficult for wagons. The passes across the Rocky Mountains could be traveled only on foot, or on horseback. So beginning in 1810. Fur trappers and traders began carving a new trail out west. With the new trail, people could travel west faster by land routes. Okay, so that's kind of what we're kind of getting at, I'm thinking, huh? So I'm going to highlight this one. So beginning in 1810, okay, because this kind of gives us a sense of when the Oregon Trail started, right? So I'm going to go highlight this. Trying to be kind of neat here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to highlight from so to routes. Okay, all the way, okay? Because these two details give us a good sense of what our main idea is about, right? Because our title gives us a pretty good idea of what our main idea is going to be about, okay? So what your job is now, okay? So your job is to go ahead on page 6 of your reading packet. You're going to read paragraphs 3 through 14. You're going to underline the key details in each paragraph. Then you're going to make a chronological list of the most important details of paragraphs 3 through 14. Excuse me, 3 through 14. So remember last week, the chronological list, it looked something like this, okay? So first, this happened. Next, this happened. Then this happened, and then this happened, okay? So you're going to make a chronological list. If you'd like to make it in your margin on your sheet or on your close reading article, by all means do that, okay? So I'll write that in your margin. I'll put some parentheses around that. Okay. So in your margin on your close reading article, put that in red so that way you guys can see it. Then you need to determine the main idea. If you want to write that in your margin as well, okay, by all means do that, okay. Then in your reading packet for number 4 here, that's kind of why I put the 4 there, you're going to create a summary stating the main idea. So the main idea of the Oregon Trail is blank, okay. That's why we're determining the main idea. Then you need to give me 3 to 4 key details, okay. So you can add it in those chronological orders, right? Well, first, or the key, or you could say one key detail is blank. So using that list that you made, one key detail is blank. Another key detail is blank. Then after you give me those details, you need to give me a personal connection that you made of the paragraphs 3 through 14. Okay, so it doesn't need to be super elaborate. Okay, you could say, well, I've been to Nebraska, and the Oregon Trail went through there, something like that. Okay, doesn't need to be super elaborate. Okay, if you have time, go ahead and finish reading the story. Okay, then after you're done with that, you need to go to IXL, okay, and do IXLs A1 through A2. But like I said in the beginning, odds are you probably have already worked on those a little bit at the beginning of the year. So if you are not done with other ones, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you guys can do some freckle, okay, work on some word study, things like that, okay. So remember, up to score 80. If you have any questions, I will be available all day, so don't be afraid to email me. Give me a call. Otherwise, I will be available on Google Meet from 1 to 2 as well.